And we are live. Hello and welcome everyone. I am Tech Chariot, and we are back with another cast from the King of Ireland tournament. Today, and hopefully for the final time, this is the third time I've tried to cast this, but today, hopefully, for the final time, we will get Wenceslaus versus T19Official. I've been trying to get a video of these guys. I've seen parts of their games, but I just have had really bad luck trying to get an upload, so hopefully we'll make it work this time. I am sorry about the technical difficulties, but this should be a really exciting set, and I'm very happy to be bringing it to you. In terms of seeding, we have T19Official, also known as Fiesti95, and he is coming in and calculated around 1550 tournament ELO, and Wenceslaus being calculated around 1385. So you might be saying, well, didn't you promise that the maximum range was 200 between players? And indeed that's true, and according to our seeding program in our bot, Wenceslaus the First is technically in the silver division. However, with his win rate of 65.6%, Wenceslaus the First did not meet the requirements required to participate in this tournament, so we could not prove to the rest of silver division that because he was outside of the 40 to 60% win rate, we couldn't prove to the rest of his division that he belonged with them. So we asked him if he would play in the gold division instead, and he graciously agreed. So we are very grateful to Wenceslaus for agreeing to compete in the next bracket up. Hopefully Wenceslaus is able to grind some 1v1s after this tournament and get to where he's probably supposed to be. Probably does a lot of team game practice or unranked practice, and once he starts playing some games, this ranking of 1385 will go up. He'll probably be somewhere in here, but we couldn't prove it one way or the other. So we're very grateful to him for still competing in the gold division. In terms of Civ Draft, let's have a look. Wenceslaus the First picking Spanish, Berbers, Mayans, Indians, Lithuanians, Magyars, Cumans, and Chinese. And T19 picking Franks, Persians, Bohemians, Khmer, Bulgarians, Mongols, Tatars, and Italians. Wenceslaus the First sniping the Bulgarians, though, and T19 sniping the Mayans. The first map of any set is Irish Arabia, and let's get started. In the upper right, we have T19Official playing as the Green Persians, and in the lower left, we have Wenceslaus playing as the Gray Berbers. So Berbers versus Persians, these are both cavalry civilizations. They both have very mobile options. Irish Arabia is, of course, different from traditional Arabia in that the wood lines that are assigned to players are further from the town center, as well as thinner. However, there are more of them. This makes the wood lines easier to wall early game, and the timing of scouts works out so that in general, if you wanted to wall out scouts on this map, you absolutely could. However, scouts become much more powerful late game given how open the map is. We have seen many games on Irish Arabia that have gone to post-imperial that had hundreds of villager kills between the two sides. Players were constantly rebooming and building their economy. Not a lot of wood on this map. It is easy to run out of resources. For T19Official, his gold is very forward. Wenceslaus could build a tower right here and totally deny this gold. He could also build a tower on this wood line and deny the stone. T19 is building a lumber camp here. He has he found these sheep? Tell me he's found these sheep. No, he hasn't found the sheep. He should find them as soon as the lumber camp goes up, though. What we need to keep track of is sometimes we do see the players go scouts. Scouts eco is fantastic, and scouts constitute an excellent late game investment. Yeah, there we go. So he finds it, and he will bring those sheep in. Both players doing very well with very little town center idle time at 0 and 1 seconds respectively. Sometimes players will go scouts on this map, not really expecting to get in, but they still have some military presence and map control they can use to push out, take relics, and monitor what their opponent is up to. So they'll invest in scouts, not really get in, take advantage of the scouts eco, and then go knights and castle age. This seems to be a common play among players. However, we've also seen the other extreme where players will completely forget about scouts and say, you know what, all of my opponent's wood lines are super thin, I'm going to go archers. And then come in and deny wood lines. You can deny wood lines entirely with archers, so they are still quite powerful in the early game, much more powerful than scouts. Wenceslaus has begun walling off this perimeter. He has a foundation for palisade placed here, and he is building a house. So, because the wood lines are so thin, it is also easy to overchop on them. So we see Wenceslaus is sending a 4th to wood here, and T19Official already has 4 on wood. So we know right off the bat that these players are probably not going to be going scouts. At least not a low population number of scouts to try to get in. So probably FC or man-at-arms or archers from both players, and then a transition perhaps into ranged unit, as Wenceslaus is continuing to wall. He does not want T19Official getting in. Let's talk about the Civ matchup. Wenceslaus's map looks a little bit better than T19Official, so T19Official probably not going to be able to get in. Wenceslaus is going to wall this up. Berbers versus Persians. Well, Berbers do cavalry cheaper. Persians do have access to paladin. Berbers do not. So I don't really see where... I guess T19Official could tech into crossbow, but it feels like such a waste to make crossbow or even archers as the Persians, especially considering that they get Commander on where they don't have to pay gold for their crossbows. It's all wood. So Persians are going to have the better economy, though. They have faster working town centers. I think it's 10, 15, 20, and 25 or something like that, staggered throughout the ages. So they'll be able to make villagers faster, get loom faster. They're just an easy civ to play. They start with extra food and extra wood, 50 of each. So T19Official is pushing in his deer here. Has he scouted his opponent? Yes, he has. He has discovered his opponent's gold, his opponent's secondary gold. So T19Official knows where all of Wenceslaus's gold is. This gold is a little bit more in for Wenceslaus, which is good. It will be more protected. Does Wenceslaus know where T19Official's resources are? No. Wenceslaus is too busy pushing his deer in to have scouted his opponent. So this could be a disaster for Wenceslaus. He could take some damage because he doesn't know what his opponent is up to. His opponent is going to the feudal age on 21 pop, 20 villagers, and 1 scout, building a second lumber camp. So this looks... But he's not on gold yet, so this looks like a slow scouts build. Just like a true eco scouts. Like going scouts without meaning to go scouts. You just go scouts to have a few scouts out and patrol and take a little bit of map control, but you're not really that invested in trying to get in. It's just to get the scouts eco and have a little map control. So will Wenceslaus finish these walls? It is important to note that these bushes are actually straggler trees. If you bring a villager forward and chop them and build a palisade, you can actually lame these bushes and remove them. You cannot build on top of this oak tree, though. Trees are not lameable, bushes are. So we have a mining camp coming up for Wenceslaus. T19Official reaches the feudal age on 1 second of town center idle time. Very good timing from him, getting his eco upgrades immediately, and he is putting up a stable. So we are indeed going to see a few mounted units come out. So another house is coming up. I believe both players are either fully walled or very close to being fully walled.
Yeah.
So we have... Let's see. Wenceslaus is going up now. He's going up on 25 pop. And then he will build a couple of more villagers. So this looks more like an FC from Wenceslaus. He has a lot of extra wood, though. Perhaps he's waiting for horse collar before he builds a bunch of farms. And we got a market and a blacksmith. No, a market and a stable coming down for Wenceslaus. Now he could afford to get eco upgrades, but it doesn't look like he's done that yet. He wants to save his food for cooking up. He has some food under his town center. I don't think Wenceslaus has enough food. He's going to have to keep making villagers, which will delay his castle age time. T19Official is making scouts. He is not going to get in with the scouts, but he's going to be a nuisance with them. Although Wenceslaus could have an overchop, and then T19Official would help himself come right on in with these scouts. Wenceslaus just barely eking out the resources to click up, maybe using the market a little bit. That's why he built that instead of a let's say a blacksmith. He is on his way up to the next stage. So T19 looking for an overchop. May not find one. Decided to start working on this gate. Gates have 2 melee armor and the scouts do 5 damage. So therefore each scout is doing 3 damage per whack, and we can see that reflected in the decrements of the current health for this gate. So sometimes it's a strategy for players to attack 2 different places and hope that their opponent will only see one. Wenceslaus is repairing the gate now. Wenceslaus with no military. He lost his scout somehow. I'm not sure how Wenceslaus lost his scout. Looks like he was ganged up on over here, maybe by T19 scouts, which were over here. Found him and killed him. So T19 Official is at 33 villagers. He's about to be at 33 villagers. As soon as this one completes, he's got a huge farming eco set up, so it will not be long before he is able to afford Castle Age. Cognizant of the overchops, building a house here. And Wenceslaus making a few camels immediately upon hitting the Castle Age. Wants to chase these scouts away so he doesn't have to keep on fixing the palisade gate that T19 Official is trying to break in through. And this camel is going to intervene, attack the scouts. Now camels absolutely vaporize scouts. It's like the camels have the plague. Don't let the camels touch you if you're a scout. And T19 Official coming in looking for a weak villager that has been in an altercation with a boar. He's not going to find one. He's just going to take some whacks on these villagers on the wood. But Wenceslaus is here with the camels. Camels are fast, and they chase all the scouts down. So Wenceslaus is off the hook. He is building another town center, and T19 Official is on 1 scout now. He just has just 1 scout for intelligence purposes and information. And he is building another barracks because he is expecting the Berbers to flood knights. And Berbers do indeed love flooding knights. They're very good at it. He almost has the gold to click up. Just needs to drop off a little bit more. Just force drop off 1. And then he can click up. There we go. Okay, so T19 Official is on his way to the Castle Age now. I think it will take a little bit less time because he's Persians. And he is getting the armor for infantry as well. So second barracks and infantry armor tell us that T19 Official is afraid of the Berber Knight Swarm. But Wenceslaus isn't going to do Berber Knight Swarm. He's going to build a second town center. He has 3 villagers in queue, 2 here and 1 here. And he is going to try to catch up in villagers. Remember that T19 Official is Persians and his town center works faster. And he also hasn't been advancing to the Castle Age. So he has more villagers out on the field. He's got about a 5 villager advantage. That will decrease while he is advancing to the Castle Age. But still, he does have a comfortable lead. Neither player has killed any economy from the other, although Wenceslaus has killed 4 scouts and lost 1 of his own. So knight coming out from Wenceslaus. It looks like he just built 1 knight. Knights are excellent for raiding. They have more pierce armor than camels do. More base pierce armor. See, these camels are entirely unarmored. And camels are slightly faster than knights, actually. I did not know that. 1.35 to 1.45. I guess it makes sense. Otherwise, knights would just run around all day. So now Wenceslaus looking for some damage, looking to get in, but T19 is ready for it. He's got 4 spearmen prepared, and that will be more than a match for these camels and this 1 knight. T19 Official gets Castle Age and immediately gets chain mail armor for his infantry. Wenceslaus can't fight that and has to come home. So T19 Official putting up a second town center on his gold. I like this town center. It's important to secure your resources, and this town center is kind of off on this flank. It will give him some vision as to what's going on around here. He does have some forests and some wood lines back here he can take later. But he has a lot of pikemen, or a lot of spearmen, and he is getting the pikeman upgrade as well as bowsaw. So Wenceslaus now with the villager lead, 47 villagers to 43. How will Wenceslaus respond to this? T19 Official made all these pikemen, but Wenceslaus is not planning on flooding Berber Knights. He only has 4 so far. Continuing to boom on 2 town centers. T19 Official is also on 2 town centers. So all other things being equal, T19 Official will catch up to Wenceslaus. Persian town centers work faster, and now there are 2 of them working faster instead of just 1. It looks like the players had a pause. So if Wenceslaus wants to get ahead of T19 Official in terms of booming, he is going to need to add another town center. But we'll see what he decides to do. It's kind of a weird position. Wenceslaus is floating these resources. He's not really making the cavalry that Berbers were designed to make. He's just building town centers. Well, he built 1 town center. He's just hoarding these resources. T19 Official is now getting armor for his cavalry. Since T19 Official is Persians, it's a safe bet that he is going to be making cavalry at some point in the game. Maybe for his own camels, but certainly he prioritized defensive pikemen because he was expecting the Berbers to make a lot more stuff. Wenceslaus queuing up a Scorpion does not want these pikemen breaking in and doing damage, and has in fact built a siege workshop in the front near this burning gate. So Wenceslaus doing a good job of anticipating his opponent's maneuvers and what his opponent is going to do. And, you know, if you're T19 Official, you're looking at this saying, I've got 10 pikemen, or 8 pikemen. What can I do to make these pikemen work for me? Wenceslaus saving up some resources. It's almost looking like Wenceslaus is planning an Imperial Age pretty soon at 62 pop. This could really shake things up. I mean, he knows that he can't get ahead of T19 Official in booming, all other things being equal. So he is going to the Imperial Age now on 64 population. So this will certainly catch T19 Official off guard. T19 Official has invested a lot in pikemen, both for the upgrades and for the units themselves, and is building another town center and will continue to boom. I also really like this town center on the wood and on the gold. So the question will be is, can Wenceslaus do damage with this technological advantage, being an Imperial Age, but being behind in villager counts? Now, Wenceslaus is still ahead because he has been on 2 town centers longer. He went to Castle Age sooner, and we have ranges coming up for Wenceslaus. So Wenceslaus also getting the range upgrades. So is Wenceslaus planning on going Cav Archers? He looks like he sold his remaining stone. He had 100 that he spent on this town center. Sold his remaining stone, and he is putting up a university now. So not really sure what Wenceslaus is up to. And what does his opponent know? So his opponent was expecting a flood of Berber Knights, didn't see it. Has spearmen on the patrol, doesn't see anything there either. Chances are, if Wenceslaus were booming on this, for example, we're building a town center on this gold, T19 Official would see it and know to do something about it, but nothing is happening. So I guess it's possible maybe T19 Official thinks maybe my opponent is expanding out to the sides of the map, or maybe my opponent is building all of his town centers in the same place and not securing resources, but he should be suspicious about this. So he is sending his scout forward to see what Wenceslaus is up to. Remember that this is the gold division, so these players are both very good players. They're very smart players. They're probably in the top, I would say, at least 10%, but probably more like 6 to 7% of the world at least, maybe even top 5% of the world. So these players are going to know to look around and be suspicious if they don't see anything. Wenceslaus reaching the Imperial Age, getting chemistry immediately for +1 missile attack, and getting the leather archer armor as well. Wenceslaus pushing out, building a siege workshop now. T19 Official is massing up camels because he is expecting a lot of Berber Knights, but so far just finding these Scorpions. Scorpions are going to take down the pikemen, and these villagers are going to continue building. We have a lot of ranges here. Chemistry is coming in, and the production queue afterward will really tell us what Wenceslaus's plans are. As he pushes out onto this gold. Wenceslaus with only 43 seconds of town center idle time between his 2 TCs. So chemistry is in, and 7 hand cannons are in queue. So this tells us that Wenceslaus is going gunpowder. We have a bombard cannon in queue as well. So this could be an interesting play. Gunpowder within 30 minutes. T19 Official is going to be boomed up, though. He's at 96 villagers. But definitely a very intriguing strategy as the hand cannons start to roll forward. T19 Official is still making camels, though, and knights. I don't think he realizes that this is a fast Imperial into gunpowder instead of a fast Imperial into Cavalier, and here comes Wenceslaus with some Scorpions and some hand cannons. Hand cannons may not be very good against cavalry, but they still have 17 attack, so they're still a very powerful unit. And at this point, T19 is going to realize that there are hand cannons here. We're going to send some camels to deal with these Scorpions. We're going to send the rest to catch up with these hand cannons. A lot of micro going on here. See these cannons attack ground over the camels. And Wenceslaus is on the back foot. He's going to lose both of his cannons. However, he might be able to get a few conversions. He is building hand cannon mass. There's a certain mass of hand cannons that are required to one-shot a unit. And it looks like he's getting there. If he can use this monk to patch up his hand cannoneers, he can start to push out. We have 10 more in queue for Wenceslaus. He's got 12 cannoneers on the field right now, and more ranges coming up. So this is quite exciting. Yo-Yo Dude would absolutely love this. Yo-Yo Dude loves fast Imperial into gunpowder. But losing these cannons hurts. That's a lot of resources, although Wenceslaus is at 91 villagers. So both of his town centers are still working, and working quite well. He's continuing probably to put things on gold. Castle coming up for T19 Official and getting ranged upgrades. Maybe thinking about skirmishers or commander and crossbows. I'm not sure. Is this monk going to snag the relic? Yes, it is. So he's going to snag that relic and bring it back as T19 Official is about to get a surprise here. All that Wenceslaus needs to do is walk around here and then camp these hand cannons right next to the gold, but instead Wenceslaus doesn't realize there's an overchop over here and starts trying to knock its way in. That's unfortunate for Wenceslaus. Opting to build up his hand cannon mass before making more bombard cannons, although he does have one in queue now. Here it is. So he'll probably build up another one. Wenceslaus also teching into heavy camel rider and researching scale barding armor. So if Wenceslaus tries to deny this castle, unfortunately is not able to for Wenceslaus. He is fleeing. He has a lot of hand cannons here. And we should be able to micro these knights down pretty well. The hand cannons have sufficient mass. T19 Official fleeing. So if Wenceslaus can get a good number of camels in front of these hand cannons, it could spell disaster for T19 Official. But his eco is a little off balance here. He is also under attack. T19 Official deciding to raid such a slow army. Wenceslaus quick walling. He needs to quick wall here. Now he needs to quick wall up here. Will these units break in over here? Looks like they are coming, and Wenceslaus is going to have to deal with that raid. Meanwhile, Wenceslaus has cannons everywhere, taking down the outpost, and he has bombards working on the castle. No one has lost any villagers yet, and we are over 36 minutes into the game, as the first 2 villagers have gone down for Wenceslaus. These numbers will continue to grow as the game progresses. But man, are these cavalry raids so annoying. Wenceslaus has lost 7 villagers. 8, 9. These camels are going to clean up these knights, but it is super annoying. T19 Official is on his way to the Imperial Age. It's about a minute out, and he is building up another wave of knights. These cannons continue to work at this castle. T19 Official will need to buy more stone or mine more stone to keep this castle up. He wants to pick off the cannons. There's going to be 4 cannons here. Make that 3, so he does manage to pick off a cannon. Wenceslaus is paying attention, though. He's got 40 hand cannons here. Microing the cannons back to try to keep them away from the knights. And they survive. Surely can take down the stable. Maybe he's more interested in the castle, who knows. So he's going to get a Vil pick off. 2, 3 Vils with the guys with guns. Big fight here. Blue just ignoring Wenceslaus' army, just waiting for Wenceslaus to just sit here and try to take this castle down and buy time while he counterattacks Wenceslaus, who has a pretty immobile army. Siege Workshop goes down, and where does T19 Official go from there? Wenceslaus has built some pretty vulnerable farming eco out here. He has a lot of wood, not very much gold in the bank. I think Wenceslaus is out of gold. And T19 is going to break in over here. Wenceslaus is going to need to respond with his camels. He does have 6 camels nearby, so he should be able to take this if he micros the monk and sends the camels. Here come the camels. But he has a lot of things going on at the moment. He's taking out castles, he's microing his hand cannons, he's paying attention to raids, so he's quite busy. So Wenceslaus investing in light cav, perhaps going to raid his opponent. He's built a pretty big farming eco. He's got 43 farmers. However, T19 Official has 61. Let's take a look at the military count. Wenceslaus wants to build a town center here. In terms of military, Wenceslaus has 55 military to T19 Official's 21. Microing the cannons around to keep them safe from the cavalry. Cavaliers getting shot down by all this cannon fire. And honestly, if you ask me, I don't think hand cannons have enough attack as is. I mean, it's a freaking cannon, dude. You telling me some guy can survive cannon shot just because he's riding a horse? Give me a break. But I do understand, for balance reasons, why the attack is only 17. And to be fair, hand cannons of the Middle Ages were very unpredictable. These aren't riflemen, they're hand cannons. T19 Official fleeing. Okay, so the rally point for his town center was set forward. Lost some villagers from that. So Wenceslaus has lost 28 and killed 13 villagers. He has what seems to be a large, unstoppable mass of hand cannons here. But the Hussar are closing in. He needs to find a nice, tight nook for these hand cannons and park them there. And let the Hussars come in and try to pick him off as they get shot down. But it does look like he's lost all of his siege. So having lost all of his siege, there's no reason to be here anymore. He should. He's building a forward town center now. He's got camels forward. And T19 Official is taking Wenceslaus' gold for whatever reason. Decided that this would be a great place to build a gold mine. Does Wenceslaus see that? No, actually, he does not. Doesn't know that it's there. T19 Official knows that Wenceslaus is there too. It's only 2 villagers though. T19 Official having a hard time keeping his military alive. Wenceslaus is 53 versus 7 and has 100 villagers, so he's doing a good job keeping this snowball alive. And T19 Official just spamming Hussars, trash units. So in theory, this is Wenceslaus' game. Like, Wenceslaus has all the answers here. Seems that he's got the camels out for the hussars, and he's got the hand cannons out for the pikemen. The only thing that Wenceslaus doesn't have is siege. Could you imagine if there was like 2 bombard cannons and all of this military that was over here was actually over here, and put T19 on the defensive? This game would be over. But for some reason, T19 is just able to spam hussars so fast and so thoroughly that Wenceslaus can't kill it fast enough. So Wenceslaus did see this and built another town center here on this gold. He's firing at the villagers. And will take them down. However, he is being raided over here. I think Wenceslaus knows that this is where T19Official has expanded to. He sent some camels out this way. He wanted to send the hand cannons out that way, but they don't really have the backup. And his gold villagers are going down. And Wenceslaus, being raided now, has 27 on gold somewhere, fortunately for him. 100 villagers, though. Dropping below 100 now as he's being raided across the map. T19Official building a cheeky castle here on Wenceslaus' town center. Does Wenceslaus see this? No. Wenceslaus does not see it. So this castle will be highly disruptive to mining gold here. Wenceslaus being raided. He's at 85 villagers now. He has hussar all over his base. Thankfully for Wenceslaus, he does have camels. Looks like there was a big fight up here, and a lot of hand cannons went down. And now the military count is starting to look even. The difference is that Wenceslaus is being raided, and T19Official's eco is mostly safe. Notice that T19 has walled this off with houses. He's cognizant of the raids. He wants to make it harder to raid. Hand cannons getting caught out of position, probably as they were trying to get in here on some villagers. And they're just going to get absolutely mobbed by cavalry. Persian cavalry. Wenceslaus has detected the presence of this castle, garrisoned his own town center to at least keep T19 off the gold for now. It must be that the villagers building this castle auto-tasked on an additional mining camp and decided to come over here and take the gold after they finished it. So he will not be able to take gold there. He will not be able to take gold over here, wherever it is. Here it is. Alright, so actually this gold is well within his vision, but Wenceslaus calls the GG, just being raided to death, down to 66 villagers. Let's take a look at the Eco KD here, as T19Official has killed 116 of Wenceslaus' villagers and lost 63 of his own. So massive eco damage on both sides, but T19Official does edge out Wenceslaus in this one. But this was a really fun set to watch. I was really pleased with the Fast Imperial into gunpowder. I think if Wenceslaus had done some more walling or done more castles or something to mitigate the raids, this game could have turned out very differently. He did a fantastic job doing a lot of damage to T19, and it was definitely quite competitive. I would say that Wenceslaus is definitely punching at his weight in this matchup. So with Irish Arabia concluded, let us go take a look at the next map, which is Wenceslaus' home map. It is Ire Nomad. I've actually played this map with Wenceslaus before. He was part of a raid that Mustang did on my Twitch channel. When Mustang raided and there were a lot of people actually watching me, I knew that I needed to entertain them somehow. So we played on some of my custom maps. One of them was in development, and it was this one, Irish Arabia. So, over here to the left-ish side, left center, I'm going to say, we have Wenceslaus, who is playing as the Spanish, and he is getting his town center up. And over here to the more center of the map, lower right, we have T19Official playing as the Mongols, building his town center with 3 villagers. So Wenceslaus building a town center with 2 villagers, and looking for a place to dock. He docks right here. Wenceslaus has not found his transport ship yet, neither has T19Official. You start with plus 50 wood on this map. So all players essentially enjoy the Persian bonus. All players can build a town center, a dock, a fishing ship, and a house at the start of the game, but not in that order. It's a town center, a dock, a house, and a fishing ship. There we go. Wenceslaus keeping his town center occupied, and he is coming to chop some wood. So Wenceslaus maybe will allocate all of his early eco to wood collection so that he can pump out fishing ships. And we're certainly going to see many fishing ships from Wenceslaus playing as a Spanish. T19 has not docked, which I disagree with this decision. However, maybe T19 feels like he can get enough food another way, or he can execute a clean enough build order and do like some kind of crazy fast castle and prevent the Spanish from doing what the Spanish love to do, which is FC into conks. So let's take a look at the vision from both players. Wenceslaus does not know where T19Official is. He knows that he has a dock here, so he knows that T19 is not up here. And he knows that he's right here, so T19 is up here, but he doesn't know where T19 is. So he'll be trying to find T19's dock. Meanwhile, T19... if I can ever select and see his vision, so we can see what T19 sees. Oh no, come on, I don't want Gaia. Come on, Capture Age. Shift, right click. I did that. I did that, and it does something stupid. Come on. Alright guys, well sorry about that. We can't switch to T19's point of view, so we can't actually see what T19 knows, unfortunately. But hey, it's a free version of Capture Age, so can't complain too much. So, Fast Castle is common on Nomad. This is because players can build their town centers on wood lines. This appears to be the medium-sized generation of Nomad, so not too small, not too large. It is landlocked on this side, but it is technically open over here. So if you build a dock here, you can technically sail all the way around. T19Official with no military and Wenceslaus with one military unit. It is his free transport ship that has one line of sight, and he is not exploring with it. T19Official has found his transport ship, but it is not on the map, so this tells me that he deleted it because Wenceslaus does not have the ability to destroy it right now. Mongols taking meat from boar and deer so quickly. Man, I really don't like this. I don't know if I changed a setting somewhere. Let's see what Wenceslaus knows. So Wenceslaus... How the heck did I get stuck on Gaia's point of view? I don't want Gaia. Alright, so we can toggle the map and we can see what Gaia knows. And Gaia knows that Wenceslaus is here, but does not know that T19Official is over here. There are some Irish falcons patrolling about, though, exploring the map. Gaia has vision on the relics as well. Alright, well, sorry about that, guys. Stuck at Gaia's point of view and don't know how to get out. So Wenceslaus with 13 seconds of town center idle time, T19Official with only 1 second of town center idle time. But Wenceslaus is shown to have a decisive villager advantage because of all these fishing ships he's built. Look, I mean, look at all these. So T19Official with a lot of hunted food. Taking out that boar, and it's going to click up to the feudal age now. So maybe T19Official is planning some feudal age aggression for Wenceslaus. We'll have to see. He's certainly close enough. I wish we could tell whether or not T19Official knows where Wenceslaus is. If T19 Official knows where Wenceslaus is, then feudal aggression could make sense. Barracks is coming down, so this does indeed make it look like he's got something planned for Wenceslaus. Each of the trees in Irish Nomad have 350 wood on them apiece. So that allows the map to be much more open, despite... Oh, is Wenceslaus going to find out the hard way that T19 Official is here? Going out to the stone. But surely T19 Official will not let this happen. Is he bringing in another boar? So T19 Official is going to reach feudal age, and he already has the food to click up to castle. So he has the resources as well. He can go market blacksmith, but he instead is going to go stable blacksmith. And he needs to go on gold now. He doesn't have a market, so he will need to take gold in order to have enough gold to afford to click up. Wenceslaus with 32 villagers to T19 Official's 20. I mean, think about that. That's a 50% economy advantage and has that transport ship, which he has not found yet. Wenceslaus reaching the feudal age. His gold just sunk dramatically, so we see that a market is coming up. I don't know where the blacksmith is. He needs a blacksmith, and he needs it as soon as possible. He is taking stone here. He sees that he's being scout rushed now. So T19 has built a scout. Wenceslaus is pretty unfortunate here. Maybe he doesn't see this stone. But this stone would have been much better to take. He would have been very better off just walling this off and taking the stone and kind of like walling to his town center so he couldn't be scout rushed. But he instead went out to this stone over here. I don't think he realized that T19 Official was over here. A villager goes down, and this scout continuing to harass, but this tower will go up, and then Wenceslaus will have to abandon the stone. And then he'll begin to ask, what was I fighting this area for anyway? I can't even have the stone anymore because I can't take down the tower. So Wenceslaus just needs a little bit more time to get this blacksmith down. He's almost got the food that he needs to click up, and T19 Official has not clicked up yet. He is making a villager, and he was just getting the gold now. These villagers, Wenceslaus, you just need to give up on this, dude. You cannot quick wall your way into having a good mining camp here. And there's no reason to, because you've got gold over here. Okay, Wenceslaus on his way to the castle age. T19 Official on his way to the castle age. And we're going to have some competing castle drops, I think. Although Wenceslaus is completely off of stone. He's going to need to buy the stone to click up. Or to build the castle. A bunch of idle villagers here. I wonder if he sees that. They are hidden behind the market. T19 Official wants this stone for himself now, and Wenceslaus is going to lose another villager here. This has been a disaster for him. As soon as he saw these scouts, he should have just pulled out. And these scouts are going to kill every last villager that he sent over here, which is unfortunate. But I don't know if he didn't see this stone because it was so small. Let's see if there's another stone nearby. He could have taken this stone here, but without being able to check the vision, unfortunately, because of Capture Age getting stuck on Gaia, I can't tell you what Wenceslaus' knowledge was, or why he chose to take the stone all the way over here. This could have been the only stone that he knew about, but that just seems unlikely. So T19 Official with 8 on stone now, on his way up to the Castle Age. Wenceslaus is right behind him. The difference is that T19 Official has stone, Wenceslaus does not. He has all the stone that he mined, and that's it. So there might be a little bit of market abuse from Wenceslaus to get that castle up. We'll have to see. It really depends on whether or not he feels the pressure. Wenceslaus is moving across the map, but surely he must know he does not have the stone to build a castle. So comes back. Selling wood for gold and buying stone. There it is. So this is a purchased castle. Let's see where he puts it. Oh no. He's going to put it right here. This castle does nothing. I guess it does kind of secure this gold, but T19Official has a knight out and a scout, and another knight is on the way, and he'll be able to butcher villagers left and right as they're getting this castle up. And all this castle is going to do is force T19Official to rebuild a lumber camp back here. So I don't know if Wenceslaus simply thinks that the town center is about 8 tiles to the southwest, or why he's building it here, but this is not the place to build a castle. It does nothing. But he's sort of under pressure. He's taking big eco losses. He had to buy this castle, and at the end of the day, this castle isn't going to do him anything. He does have a lot of fish, though. Still on fish, although looks like we missed it. They were fighting over water. T19Official built a dock over here, and Wenceslaus built fire ships. So he's already ready for that. And T19Official has also built another town center here. So as long as Wenceslaus can secure a gold and can keep taking that fish meat, he can make conquistadors. So maybe that's all he cares about. I'll get, maybe he's thinking I'll get 4 conquistadors out, and then I'll just go and kill a bunch of villagers with that. He sees this gold mine and decides to take gold here. Bails on this as the knights whip around. And Wenceslaus is going to find this town center maybe the hard way. Where are these villagers going? No, just taking the long way. Alright, so Wenceslaus still in this. He's getting careening. It's like he's expecting a naval battle somewhere, although I don't see it. This careening is a very strange choice. Gives his ships more pierce armor. Did he mean to get, like... Okay, this castle should absolutely be denied. Wenceslaus could deny it. He's got the conks to do so. But they're not in the right position. So he's got another conk here. Come right here and deny this castle. But I think this castle is going to go up. Okay, they need to sit right here, and they need to pick off villagers, but it might be too late. The castle's already half full. This is going to be an expensive castle for T19. Don't tell me you're going to let this go up, Wenceslaus. Oh, man. Okay, the conquistadors have to flee. The castle takes out one of them, and now it is a treb war. This castle isn't going down, this castle isn't going down. Can somebody gut the other person's eco, or are they going to have to go imp? T19Official is on 2 town center, Wenceslaus is on 1. Wenceslaus can keep building docks and like keep fishing the ocean out. Maybe he can get enough food to click up to imp. He's getting war galley. I don't understand the investment. His opponent has flags over this dock. Alright, there's a single fire ship in here. So this is not it's not only war galley, but it's also fire galley, or fire ship, I should say. These are fire galleys. But it's really not necessary to get all these dock upgrades. His opponent doesn't care about water. This is just here for an overreaction. So I'd like to see petards from T19Official. Maybe make like 10 or 11 petards. But instead he's going to make Mangadai. He's going to run around and camp Wenceslaus's wood lines, prevent him from taking wood. Wenceslaus will have to move his lumber camp over here, probably right to the base of the castle. And even that might not be good enough. This castle only has 8 range. Wenceslaus has no range upgrades because he is going fire ships. So he's going to see that this end is closed off here pretty soon. Okay, so, what's going on? We got Wenceslaus has only made 2 conquistadors, and we have some Manganai now on the run. So Wenceslaus could totally have been running around with these conquistadors and picking off villagers, so I'm not really sure why he's not using these conquistadors. He has Manganai coming to help him secure a castle drop in this location. Wenceslaus getting wheelbarrow. Looks like he does indeed plan on going up to the next stage. garrisons the town center, so the Mangudai cannot dive the farmers. But surely these Mangudai will just find their way around and kill gold miners. So he builds something out here and then comes back. So this castle will secure gold for T19 Official. Wenceslaus is at a villager disadvantage despite the fishing. T19 Official is booming on 2 town centers. And Wenceslaus resigns for some unknown German reason. Oh wait, sorry, I can't play without sound. That's right, I remember that being translated earlier. So apparently he's playing without sound somehow. But GG, well played to both players. I'm very grateful that they signed up. And big respect to Wenceslaus for playing in the gold division. I know that his ELO was technically calculated to put him in silver, but he just didn't have the win rate in accordance with the requirements and with our rules. So we're very grateful that he was willing to play in gold. And I definitely think that he was punching at his weight here, that he was a worthy competitor for T19 Official. Just made a few mistakes. I think he overcommitted on water on Nomad. And I do think that he maybe didn't realize that there was closer stone to him, so he came all the way out here, which is pretty awkward. Vulnerable to getting scout rushed by T19 Official, which set him back. So, big respect to Wenceslaus, though. He played like he belonged in this bracket. So, with that, we're sorry to see Wenceslaus the first go, but we are congratulating T19 Official. We're looking forward to seeing him perform in the next set. So, thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you again soon.